In the Gospels, the story is told of four men who bring a fifth man, a sick man, on a bed, and they present him before Jesus so that Jesus might heal them. And to do that, they destroy the roof of Simon Peter's house to lower the man before Jesus. Now, every time I've heard people talk about or preach on this story, they seem to make one big assumption. They assume that those four men were the friend of the fifth man, that they were doing it to help him out. They were doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. But here's the thing. It never says that in the Gospels. Never says anything about them being his friends. And in fact, in the ancient world, if somebody saw that, if they saw four people carrying a fifth person on a stretcher on a bed, you know what they would have assumed? They would have assumed that those four men were slaves. They would have taken it for granted. And there's no reason, based on what's written in the gospel, to assume anything but that they were slaves. So what if they were slaves? How would that change how we read and understand this story? How would we hear it differently? How would we hear Jesus' responses, both to the four and to the one in this story? My name is W. Scott McCandless, and I have a podcast called Retelling the Bible. And I would invite you to go to my episode 9.23, Four Men and a Bed, to listen to this story with the assumption that these weren't his friends, that they were enslaved individuals. Listen to that story and tell me what you think.